Nothing about it stands out. A narrow storefront rests along a side street that could belong to almost any neighborhood. The paint on the exterior has been refreshed at some point, though not recently enough to draw attention. The windows are clean, but not polished to a shine, and the lettering on the glass, simple and unadorned, does not try to explain what kind of place it is. Inside, the lights are already on, warm and steady. The door opens with a soft, familiar sound. The air carries the scent of brewed coffee and something baked from earlier in the day. Nothing sweet enough to linger heavily, just enough to suggest that at some point, someone stood at the counter and waited for something warm to cool. The barista moves without urgency. A clean cup rests on the counter. Another is placed beside it, evenly spaced, their rims aligned without being measured. The counter beneath them has already been wiped once, yet it is wiped again, slower this time. The cloth moving in a straight line and then back again, leaving no visible difference. The light inside stays where it is. It rests against the wood of the counter, the table edges, the floor beneath the stools. It does not flicker or swell, nor does it reach far beyond the windows. Outside, the street continues without slowing. A car passes and the sound fades. Another follows with a slightly different pitch. Tires on pavement, then quiet again. Somewhere down the block, a door closes. The cafe does not react. There is no music. What fills the space instead are smaller sounds that do not ask to be noticed. Porcelain touching wood, a kettle settling after it has been filled, the quiet drag of a washcloth across a surface that does not need polishing. Behind the counter, the barista folds the cloth and sets it down near the register. A moment later, he picks it up again because his hand returns to it. He wipes the same section once more, then smooths the cloth along the edge and folds it again, tighter this time. The kettle is already warm. He checks it anyway. He looks at the spout, then at the switch. He rests his fingers lightly against the side of the metal, and then withdraws his hand without changing anything. A drawer beneath the counter slides open by a few inches, and then closes again. Nothing above it changes. A cup is moved an inch to the left, then returned an inch to the right. It ends where it began. Time moves evenly here. the door opens. A person stands just inside for a moment, coat still on, hands at their sides. They do not step forward immediately. They let the room be what it is before adding themselves to it. Their gaze rests on the counter, on the cups already waiting there, then on the empty stools, and the space between a table and the wall. Behind the counter, the barista places another cup out, closer to the edge than the others. He doesn't look up. He sets it down with the same care as the first two, as if cups belong there, whether anyone arrives or not. The person steps forward. They stop at the counter. Their hands rest on the wood without gripping it. "Coffee," they say. The barista nods. He turns away and begins to prepare it. He reaches for the grounds, then for the filter, then for the kettle, each motion unhurried and precise. Water meets paper, and the sound is soft, brief, and gone. The coffee begins to fill the cup. Steam rises and thins. The person waits. They watch the cup, the dark surface rising and settling, checking that it is real and that it is being made, that this part proceeds the way it should. They reach into their bag and draw out a letter. It is neatly folded, once and then again. The edges align carefully. There is no envelope, no address, just paper creased with care. They hold it for a moment before settling it down, feeling its thickness, its shape, the way it bends slightly at the folds. They place the letter on the counter. Their fingertips remain on it for a moment longer than necessary. Then their hand withdraws, and their palm rests on the counter beside it. The barista returns with the coffee. He notices the letter. He looks at it, then at the cup, then back at the letter again. His expression does not change. He does not ask anything. "That will do," he says. He opens the drawer beneath the counter. Inside are other items, each resting in its own place, not stacked or crowded. The barista places the letter among them and eases it flat, unfolding it just enough that it lies cleanly. The drawer closes with a soft, final sound. The coffee is set down. The person wraps both hands around the cup, lifts it, and moves to the nearest table. Steam from the coffee rises and thins. The surface of the coffee stills. They wait. The barista wipes the far end of the counter away from them, giving them space without stating it. Outside, a car slows at the corner and moves on. The person lifts the cup slightly, enough to feel its weight, then lowers it without drinking. They wait again, hands still around the cup, warmth slowly moving into their palms. They lift the cup again. This time, they take a small sip. They hold the cup for a moment after drinking, keeping the warmth near their face without needing more of it yet. Then, they lower it and set it down carefully, aligning it with the edge of the table. They wait. Meanwhile, the barista folds the washcloth and places it closer to the sink. The kettle clicks off. He checks it again, even though it has done what kettles do. The person takes another sip, slightly longer this time. They pause with a cup still in their hands, then set it down, fingertips briefly touching the rim to steady it. They wait again. The person lifts the cup again and drinks. They set it down and then they wait. The pattern repeats without hurry, with pauses long enough that the coffee cools slightly between each sip. Behind the counter, the barista rinses something small, then dries it, then sets it down out of sight. A chair is nudged back into place with the edge of his foot. The person finishes the coffee slowly, leaving a thin ring of warmth on the cup where their hands have been. When the cup is empty, they do not stand immediately. They sit for a moment longer, hands still near the cup, waiting for the room to do something else. It does not. They stand, put on their coat, and leave. The letter remains inside the drawer. The cafe returns to its quieter rhythm. The cup is rinsed and set upside down to dry. The counter is wiped where the letter had been, though no mark remains. The barista folds the washcloth again. He opens the drawer by a few inches and adjusted what is already there. He shifts one item slightly to the right and closes the drawer again. Outside, tires and footsteps pass. Inside, another cup is placed on the counter. Then another. Time passes. The door opens again. A man steps inside and moves toward the counter without stopping. He does not look around or pause to take in the room. Tea, he says. The barista nods. A cup is already near the edge of the counter. The barista touches it, rotates it a fraction, then begins to prepare tea. While the water warms, the man removes a ring from his pocket and places it on the counter. There is no box, just the ring resting where it lands. The ring catches the light briefly, then becomes just another small object on wood. The barista glances at it. "I'll keep it," he says. He opens the drawer and places the ring inside among the other items. The ring makes no sound when it settles. The drawer closes. Water is poured. Steam rises and fades. The tea is set down. The man takes the cup and carries it to a table near the wall. He sits with his back to most of the room. He holds the cup without drinking, watching the surface settle. His hands rest around the cup, measuring its warmth. He lifts it, takes a small sip, then lowers it again. The cup rests on the table between his hands. He waits. The barista folds the washcloth and sets it down. He wipes the far end of the counter again, then stops. Then wipes it once more, as if the first pass was only a rehearsal. Outside, the footsteps pass without slowing. The man lifts the cup again. Another sip, slightly longer. He sets it down and waits again, gaze drifting toward the window without focusing on anything outside. He lifts it again. Another sip, then another pause. Time moves around him without asking him to keep up. The kettle cools. It is checked again. The barista does not speak. The man's tea grows a little cooler with each pause. The steam is gone now. The surface is still. He lifts the cup again, drinks a little more, then holds the cup for a moment, not drinking, then lowering it back to the table. The door opens again and closes again softly. A woman stands just inside for a moment, coat still on. She does not move toward the counter right away. She looks at the table, the stools, the still cups, noting what is already in place. The man at the table does not turn around. He takes another sip, slow and small, then sets the cup down again, hands remaining around it. Behind the counter, the barista places another cup closer to the edge, then leaves it there. The woman steps forward. She stops at the counter, close enough to reach it, but her hand hovers near the wood and lowers again without touching. She reaches into her pocket and removes a key. It is attached to a plain paper tag. Nothing written on it. The tag bends slightly where it has been held before. She holds the key for a moment before placing it down. The metal catches the light, then dulls. She places it on the counter. The barista looks at it. He picks it up and holds it longer than the others, as if confirming its shape and weight. He sets it down again. He looks at the woman and says, "Tea." The woman nods. Back at the table near the wall, the man lifts his cup again and drinks, finishing another small portion. He sets it down and waits, hands still around the cup. The barista opens the drawer. Inside, the letter from earlier rests. Nearby, other items are arranged with space between them. The ring without a box, a transit pass with unused rides, a small button pinned to nothing, a folded map creased at the same corner, and a thin ticket stub with faded ink. Items rest inside the drawer, quiet and still. The barista places the key inside and closes the drawer. The kettle clicks. Water is poured, and steam rises briefly. The cup is set on the counter in front of the woman. She takes it in both hands but does not lift it. The warmth moves into her palms. She holds it there, letting the heat settle into her fingers. She waits, then moves to another table far from the man, bringing her tea. Behind her, the man lifts his cup again and drinks. Finishing it will take as long as it takes. The woman lifts the cup slightly, not to drink, but only to feel its weight. She lowers it again. The barista wipes the counter on the far side, away from them. The cloth moving in a straight line and back again. Outside, a car passes. The sound fades. The woman lifts the cup again. This time, she takes a small sip. She holds the cup for a moment after drinking, then lowers it carefully to the table, aligning it with the edge. She waits again. On the other table, the man takes another sip. He pauses, sets the cup down and waits. His emptying of the cup proceeds slowly, as if there is no reason to hurry toward an end. The woman also takes another sip, then pauses. Her hands rest around the cup, and she watches the surface settle. The barista checks the kettle again, even though it is cooling, then folds the cloth and sets it down. He sets another cup out and leaves it untouched. The woman lifts her cup again and drinks. The sip is slightly longer. She pauses with the cup still in her hands, then sets it down again. The man finishes the last of his tea. He does not stand immediately. He sits with the empty cup for a moment longer than necessary, hands still near it, is waiting for something else to happen. Nothing does. He stands and returns to the counter without looking at the woman. The barista opens the drawer and places the ring on the counter. All set? He asks. The man looks at the ring, picks it up, and then closes his hand around it. He leaves. The door opens, then closes, and the woman remains. The woman's tea sits before her. Steam is nearly gone now. The cup is still warm. The surface of the tea is quiet. She does not drink right away. She holds the cup with both hands and lets the warmth gather in her palms. Her fingers relax slightly against the porcelain. She lowers the cup again and keeps her hands around it. Behind the counter, the barista rinses a spoon and sets it down out of sight. He wipes the counter again, then stops, then wipes the same section once more. Outside, the footsteps continue. The woman lifts the cup and takes a small sip. She sets the cup down again, aligning it with the edge, and waits again. Behind the counter, the barista folds the washcloth. The kettle cools. The drawer remains closed. The woman takes another sip. She holds the cup for a moment, not drinking, then sets it down again. She waits. Time passes in small increments. The length of a sip, the length of a pause, the length of a washcloth folding into a square. The woman drinks again and pauses again. Her cup is half empty now. She sets it down and stands. She turns toward the door, but does not go all the way to it. She stops before reaching the handle and stands there for a while. The barista does not look up. He opens the drawer by a few inches and then closes it again without removing anything. The woman remains near the door. Then she turns back and returns to the counter. The barista opens the drawer again, removes the key, and places it on the counter where it had been before. Whenever you're ready, he says. The woman looks at the key. She picks it up, holds it for a moment, then sets it down again. She looks at the key for a while, then picks it up and closes her hand around it. The barista does not move. The cafe continues without reacting. The barista wipes the counter where the key had been. He folds the washcloth, sets it down, then picks it up again, and wipes the same section once more. He rinses the cup the woman used and sets it upside down to dry. He aligns it with another cup. He checks the kettle. A cup is placed on the counter before it's needed. Then another. The drawer remains closed. Outside, the street continues without noticing. Inside, nothing is rushed. Time moves evenly, and the room holds its small sounds, its steady light, and its calm repetitions. A door opens somewhere down the block. A car passes. The sound fades. The cups remain. The counter is clean, and the kettle cools. The door opens again, and the cafe is ready. Thank you for spending part of your night here with me. Whether you listened closely or drifted in and out, I'm glad you were here. If the story helped you unwind, you're welcome to like the video or subscribe to the channel. It helps these quiet stories find their way to others who might need them at the end of the day. My name is Thal, and this is Snooztory. Rest well and have a peaceful night.